Live from Collider Studios in Burbank, California. This is Inside Schmoedown. I am the pit boss, Ken Napzok, here for another edition, and I have a special guest. My partner, Rachel, the Crusher Cushing, will be on the show here in just a couple minutes. If you're watching live, you can go to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook group if you're a member and post questions right there. I'm watching them pop up on the screen now. Tyler Myers, I see you and your question. We're doing it live here today. If you're watching on YouTube on the replay, welcome, and thanks for watching in there. We had a couple big matches in this last week, but before we do that, Cody?
What's going on, Ken? How you doing?
You still got that app downloaded, right?
Yeah, I'm not very good at it. I'm like 3 and 10.
You're losing on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown app?
I don't know who I am anymore.
Well,
it sucks.
Okay, I want you to get your trivia chops up, man. We don't know when you're going to be needed in field of battle. We don't know.
All right, I'll practice.
All right, do that. Do that. Good to have you here today, Cody, man. Are you going out to the big Schmoedown panel?
I will be there, yes. I will be there working for it, and so say hello.
Absolutely. I'll be there as well. Guys, do you know about this? Are you SoCal local? Are you coming out here for the Los Angeles ComicCon? Stan Lee's Los Angeles ComicCon? That's right. This Sunday, October 29th, we're going to be down there. That's at the LA Convention Center. It's Collider Live, the Movie Trivia Schmoedown panel. It is, now I'll say this, it's 1:30, though we've seen on some things 2 o'clock. I just want to be honest with you guys. Maybe prepare for 1:30, but a panel might be at 2. I know I'm getting there early, going to walk the floor, find me a nice Game of Thrones or Star Wars poster to hang up in my apartment. That's my goal this weekend, and to talk to you guys and be out there for the panel. Last year's panel was a lot of fun, guys. Big matches in the Ultimate Schmoedown Singles Tournament in the last week. All right, we've got Rocha and Inman. This is great. This is the wild card match. Inman got in that big fatal 5-way victory. Ben Bateman still out there thinking, if only I'd watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding one more time. Inman gets in. And Jason's been on this show before. He's a great guy, great guest. John Rocha's been on the show before. Great guy, great guest with a checkered past with the fans, the outlaw. But he does have his supporters. And, well, Rocha came up big with a win over Jason. It was a TKO. That goes in the record books. You know that. TKOs are good. So Rocha moves on to face the inglorious one, Sam Levine. That is an interesting match. They've been going back and forth. They got some heat between them. In fact, you know, I've seen them even off camera kind of go at it. So that's going to be a ferocious matchup there. But the other match was with my partner, my tag team partner, the axe to my smash in, if you're going with demolition here, old school wrestling. Rachel, the Crusher Cushing, took on Sassy Stacey Howard. Now, Sassy Stacey Howard coming off a big victory over Mark Baby Carrots Ellis. And you see Rachel with the Sarah Connor vibes again, answering big. It was a KO. Boom. Look at that. 16-3. Stacey's got skills, my friends. I always say do not overlook Stacey Howard in this competition at any point, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes the questions don't go your way, and when you're facing Rachel, the Crusher Cushing, you have to be near perfect. She was perfect in the first round of this game, including her bonus question, and it led to a big victory. And then afterwards, there was an answer we finally got. And we're going to talk about it when she comes out here in a second. It was, she really finally ended some questions and some drama behind the scenes there of what she was going to do next. More on that in a second. So this sets up, let's bring up that bracket. This sets up the updated bracket. We are looking, Cushing has moved forward to the semifinals, and she awaits the winner, as I said, of Rocha and the inglorious one, Sam Levine. Breanne Chandler and Mike Kalinowski are set to do battle. That might be, I've lost track, their 17th battle. But the previous 16, if that's the number, have been great. There's some, it's changed. There's been heat between them. But now I think there's a nice respect. And to bring it up again, I missed the last one there.
Sorry about that, Ken.
How could I forget the last one? This is so good. We've got a poster for it. Brian Ward, with the man of wonderful posters, created this one. It's a civil war. Jeff the Snyder versus Little Evil, America's former hero, JTE. Love that poster. Love these guys. This battle, I don't know what to expect. Brother versus brother. The Lion's Den fighting. A civil war indeed. I don't quite know who to predict. Maybe someone who has an idea about that is my guest, I can say it now, record-setting Rachel, the Crusher Cushing. How are you? Who you doing here today?
I'm having an excellent week, Ken.
You are.
Yeah.
Winning big. Winning big in life. I'm so glad you're here. We've accomplished a lot as a team, but then we came up short. And everyone knows I've lost my smile. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I want to focus on more positive things right now than my smile.
Oh, okay.
You set some records. How are you feeling right now?
Amazing. It's funny, you don't realize that stuff when you're playing. You're just focused on the game, answering questions, and I knew it was a big win, a KO is, but it wasn't until, you know, Frankie came out with all of these lists and all these things, and I was like, I beat Bibiani in something, like consecutive questions, and to be compared to Dan Merle, I'm just like, this is, yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, and Tyler Myers has this question in the Facebook page. Do you feel more comfortable on the lights since you first started the Schmoedown? This type of victory has to make you feel more comfortable.
It definitely does. I mean, it's still intimidating. I think even the most veteran players say that there are some, you know, butterflies every time they get out there.
Sure.
But yeah, winning builds confidence. I think that's a fact of life.
Yeah.
And it's definitely gotten a little bit easier for me each time. Just the ability to harness the nervousness has been an accomplishment for me.
Let me ask you this. You know what? Better yet, Cody.
How's it going?
How many records do you think Rachel set in this last match here?
Like 2? I'm going to go with 2. Like a solid
2. You're going to go 2.
Yeah.
Adam, you're not on mic there, but take the over or the under.
2 sounds good.
2 sounds good. You should have taken the over. I'm losing track because there's so many. I got 1, I got 2, I got 3, 4, 5, at least, if not more.
I was just barely off.
Yeah, you guys
Thanks, guys.
Just had it. It was
skyrocketing.
so close. Yeah.
And this is, of course, Frank Janish, Frankie Numbers from Schmoedown Rundown. Aaron Bryan and Frankie do a great job. You should check out what they do on the SK podcast feed because they go in deep. They have a lot of time to do it, and they get wonderful things like this, Rachel. Record-setting performance. Do you know some of these? You're the 3rd player with the perfect first round, including the bonus. Largest point differential in Schmoedown history with this match. Just missed 1 question per game for the last 2 games. That also means you have a 22-question streak. A 22-question streak, and the fifth best individual performance of all time, 2nd best performance in this tourney, besting yourself, best 3-0 start, best 3-game winning streak. Frankie, thanks for those numbers.
Yes,
you are
thank
truly
you.
Frankie Numbers. Let's talk about those records. How does that make you feel?
Like I said, it feels great. It feels like, you know, I belong. It feels like that there is a tier of players in the Schmoedown, and I feel like, you know, I could go toe-to-toe with those guys now. Like, I have the confidence to believe in my ability to go toe-to-toe with them.
I mean, after this, if you still had doubts after this, I mean, good. All right, do you have a favorite who you want to face? Roca? The Inglorious one? Have you thought this out?
I'm losing sleep over it, guys. Yeah, it's tough. Like I said, there's a top tier of players, the Mount Rushmore, if you will, and Roca is certainly part of that.
Right.
So there's a part of me that would love to test myself against somebody that has won belts and held records and you know, been a pioneer of the league.
Right.
But I don't want it to sound like I'm underestimating Sam, because I think he has also been a pioneer in a way. He's been playing for a long time. He's been kind of under the radar, and he burst forth onto the scene with the Above the Line. We both know how that feels. And I also, I mean, who just doesn't love the Inglorious one? And I think that match would just be fun. So I don't know. I feel like I need to prep for both.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to be on the top of my game for either one of them.
You say Roca's on the Mount Rushmore. Now, what, Cody, that's what, 4, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's 4. That's what Bill Simmons would say.
Yeah.
4 on the Mount Rushmore. You got Roca. Who are the other 3? And how do you get on there if you don't put yourself there?
I know. That's the goal now. I feel like that's the goal for me personally. But up there right now, I definitely say Roca, Merle, Christian, and Mark Riley.
Okay, that's fair. What do you have to do to get up there? Is it a title win? Is it a long-term thing? Is it a big moment? Like this Stacey Howard record-setting performance, what puts you up there?
I think the big moment sets me on the path, for sure. I think a belt would be required, for sure.
That's
and,
fair. I would agree. I wouldn't
yeah.
put you on there till you won a belt.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and it could be any of the belts. I'm still not just gunning for the singles belt. I've got Inner Geekdom in the back of my head.
Well,
so.
okay. I was got Abraham A. Flores. Abraham A. Flores asked, what do you want more, the singles or the Inner Geekdom belt?
Personally, the Inner Geekdom is where my heart is,
Yeah.
and I love the idea of proving myself there. But the singles is the Premier League, if you will. It's the one everybody talks about. It's the one that gets the most views. It's the one that, you know, is sort of the top of the top. So
Yeah.
I didn't really think I had a shot at it this year. I thought that, you know, this would be something I'd be working up to over the next couple of seasons maybe. But the tournament has, you know, as the tournaments do, flipped things on their head. And now I've got a path. So
Yeah. I mean, Inner Geekdom, you said it yourself best there. It's where your heart's at.
Yeah.
But singles, you're right. It's like when Cody and I go to Buffalo Wild Wings and we get a booth as opposed to a table. We're there in the restaurant at the table, but we want that booth.
It's a booth.
The
Gotta
singles
treat yourself.
Yeah, you got to treat yourself for some nuggies there. Inner Geekdom, is it just, do we have that clip of that entrance? This is one of my favorite
Yeah,
things
give me a
here.
second.
Talk about you kind of growing as a performer. We've talked about it. You and I've talked about this off air and on. You were an editor. You worked in dark rooms by yourself. Now look at this. You're doing this wonderful performance here as Princess Leia. I'm kidding. I mean,
gonna say.
Yeah, you're really, look at this. Look at this thing.
I mean, this was a group effort, though. I've got to
Sure.
hand it to Aaron and the special effects, and
Yeah.
to Brienne and Stacy for helping. And
Oh, you didn't actually make those magic things? That's not you?
As much as I would love to take credit for that, Ken, I'm afraid I can't.
That's not the
but-
Force lightning coming out of you? Galadriel there. That is great. So this is very much where you belong. It's
Yeah,
where your
it
heart
really
is.
It really is.
Talk about the journey from the person I've known for years. You're quiet, but that's, you know, only because you're an editor. You're used to, you're quiet. You've Nerds Watch got you into the limelight, and now you're doing that.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, I've spoken about it before. Being an introverted person, naturally, I don't seek out the spotlight, but I do love to share my passion about things with people, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm sharing my passion of movies, in particular geeky movies, and in particular Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So I kind of couldn't pass up that opportunity.
Patrick Harden asks, what's been the biggest change in your life going from a behind-the-scenes person to an on-screen personality? You get recognized at a convenience store? How's it?
Movie theaters. It's happened at movie theaters, and
Really?
at San Diego ComicCon was a real big sort of eye-opening. You know, people coming up and shaking my hand and wanting pictures, and then just having lovely conversations with them about Game of Thrones. I had just joined Thrones Talk at that point, and the Schmoedown. Yeah, like my Twitter followers went from like 200 to 2,000, and the interaction with fandoms and people looking to me as sort of a role model, particularly women and geeks and things like that. So all of that's been new and mostly positive.
Is there pressure on you? Do you put extra pressure on you?
I'm-
Because I'm sure the fans aren't. But you mentioned women. Yeah, you're right. We're looking for our first female title holder. That's something that is on the table, that needs to happen, will happen. I have a lot of faith in you. But do you feel that kind of pressure?
Absolutely, 100%. Like
100%?
I'm very good at putting pressure on myself anyway, but the pressure of, you know, proving that this is a game where gender doesn't matter, and to encourage other women. I mean, Clark, Brienne, Stacy, Gray, and I all want more women in this league, and so we feel like if we can show that it can be done, then more women will come and join. So yeah, absolutely, there's pressure for that.
Yeah, you know, everything that becomes normal starts with a great change, and you've been part of that movement to make that there. All right, one question here. Rashid asks, Rashid BGD, how does Rachel prepare before a big match? Is there a specific category you have to review? Now, I know teams matches. You're stuck with me, and I don't do a lot of preparing. I either know or I don't know. How do you train?
So you actually made a funny comment on my match against Stacy, and that's that I know a lot of directors, and it is definitely a strength of mine. But one of the reasons it is that's my way of studying. I look at filmographies, so I start with a director, and then I look at all the movies that director has done, and then I will dive into ones, whether it be on IMDb or Wikipedia that I don't know, or I might revisit them if I've only seen it once, something along those lines. I've got some. I don't have a binder like Brand does, but I have a couple spreadsheets. I'll admit to that I will look over.
Final question from the fans, then we're going to go to some stuff here about your decision here. Daniel James Baker asks, if you made it to the finals, which I have faith in you that you will, who would you be hoping to face there? You got Kalinowski, Miss Movies, JTE, Snyder.
Oh, boy. I have to say JTE.
Little Evil.
Yeah, Mike and I have got a thing, and we've got a friendly rivalry in the inner Geekdom, so it'd be fun to travel over to this league. But I hate to admit this, Ken, I really do, but I kind of admire what JTA has done this year as a singles player.
I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Where he's come from, how hard he studies. You talk about studying. Nobody studies harder than he does.
Yeah.
And he's proving everybody wrong, and that is such a hard thing to do. And Despicable Den and all, like I admire that, and I think that would be something I would like to go up against.
All right. All right. You made a decision at the end of this match. The bombastic mouth of the Schmoedown, Jay Washington, dressed all in white. A little bit of, little costuming going on. Stacy, fresh off her loss, they challenge you to finally make the decision. Will you join the Misfits? And you said,
no, thank you, but no. Here's the thing. When you took a step back after the Above the Line match, you put the ball in my court. And basically what I'm doing now is putting it back in yours, because I love the Nerds Watch. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Nerds Watch. So I am giving you your space to figure out what you need to figure out, but I am going to be here for when you make that decision. And if it's to continue with the Nerds Watch, that's what I'm doing. All
right. Hey, Cody, you got that clip of me losing my smile?
Yep.
It's sad. It's sad. Look, there's me. I'm losing my smile.
So much sadness.
I'll tell you this, Rachel. I haven't fully come to a decision, but if I want to go on, I only want to do it with the Nerds Watch. I only want to be your partner. I don't want to hold you back. Would you consider another partner? Have you looked? Have you talked? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Be honest.
Let's say I've been approached, and and it's certainly something I
give me a hint.
No hints, not yet. I need you to make your decision
Cody Hall?
without. Cody, he figured us out. What are we going to do?
Damn it.
All right.
You figure out your thing. I want you playing teams. I will say that.
Okay.
Next season, I'm coming back in teams one way or another, but hopefully that'll be enough time for you to decide to come back.
All right. That's fair enough. I haven't reached that point yet, but I know I'm committed to the idea of the Nerds Watch if that's the direction I go.
Okay.
Why? Why not go with the Misfits? We've got about a minute left here. Want to know, direct answer, why not go with the Misfits?
I'm not entirely sure it was the best fit for me personality-wise and personally. So I'm still kind of in that introverted space.
Jay's a tough pill to swallow,
He is a great mouthpiece. He's a funny guy. He's a little in your face.
I don't know.
For me.
His hair plug jokes about me not too funny.
It was a little far. Some of the smack talk aspect of the entire Schmoedown, people will take it there. I'll give it to them for doing that, but that isn't me. And I'm not going to probably be able to bring that out. I'm sorry for the people who think I should go heel. I don't really see that as a possibility. And I kind of like standing on my own 2 feet, because I could have been part of their faction, but I wouldn't be part of that team. The team already exists there, and I would still be looking for a teammate. And so it didn't feel right, Ken.
I didn't feel right. That is a great answer. In 10 seconds or less, look at that camera and pick Roca or Levine, who you're going to face, and what's your message for that person.
John Roca, you have been one of the pinnacles of this league. I know you're coming back. You're gunning for this whole title. You want to go against Christian, but so do I. And I have the momentum on my side. I want to take you. I want to take you down.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe Roca, maybe Levine, but Rachel the Crusher Cushing, my pick to go a lot farther. Thank you so much for coming on in. Guys, I want to see you if you're in the LA area for Stan Lee's LA Comic-Con this Sunday, October 29th. We'll be there live. It's Kalala Live, the movie trivia Schmoedown page. Maybe you could defeat Cody in person on the movie trivia Schmoedown app. Download that app. Check out the Schmoedown rundown. Thanks again to Frank Janish for the numbers. There's some good numbers. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.